Hello everyone, I'm Silver. It is Thursday, July 2nd. I wanted to say a quick hello to all new viewers, and an awesome welcome back must also go out to all returning viewers. If you tuned in last time and decided to come back, I really do appreciate it. You can actually find me on Ravelry as Silverluna2112, at Silver's Treats on Instagram, and at Silver's Knitting on Twitter. I do actually have a little bit, by a little bit I mean a lot, to talk to you about, so I probably should get started, right? So please grab your drink of choice, your crafting, and away we go. Today I'm actually drinking a cup of, I think it's maple sugar something or other. It's one of the kind of generic coffees that we get around our end. So anyway, let me just take a quick drink and we will get started. Okay, in this episode, we do have whips or works in progress, X's and O's, Radio Gaga, Silver's book pile, Silver in the case of the screen time, the more you know, my favorite things, and the end of the road. Well, seeing as we have a full palette, and since it is the first episode of the month, there's going to be quite a long episode, so I probably should get started. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next segment. Okay, let's move on to works in progress, or WIPs. As you probably noticed in the last little bit, I did not manage to finish a single thing this week, despite my best efforts, and I'll explain more about that in a bit. But yeah, so the first thing that I did actually start since the last time we talked was what I'm calling July's All About That Sparkle, with a winky face. The pattern that I'm using for my Desert Vista socks this month is these Simple Skip socks by Adrienne Koo. I've had this in my queue for quite a bit and thought it was about time that I went ahead and started that. I love how they're coming out so far. I mean, I only am working on them every once in a while, let's be completely honest. I am using Desert Vista Dye Works, the gold sparkle sock that she did for the, for the last sock cowl winner group. The colorway that I have here is called Rose Champagne. Let's see. Oh, I really do love how everything looks together. I am using a size US 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter on 9-inch circulars for a majority of the socks, mostly because I am knitting. Well, obviously I'm knitting in the round, but like it's a cuff down sock pattern, so I figure it would be easier just to use one pair of sock needles the entire thing. And as normal, all of my Desert Vista Dye Works socks are actually being housed in my Beauty and the Beast stained glass bag by Molly Klein Designs. The next thing that did get, I'd say, a little bit of love as well. I actually literally just started them. I would say about a couple days ago. Anyway, I am using a 12 Socks with a Difference pattern by Wendy Johnson. This is for a surprise recipient for the holidays. The colorway I'm using on this one is Lorna's Laces Shepherd Socks in the Christmas at Downton colorway. The colorway is what inspired the name. If you are aware of the Downton movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I am using a size US 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter on 9-inch circulars right now. To create the toe, I did use a size US 1.5, which I believe is a 2.5 millimeter to 16-inch circulars. The next thing that I did start since the last time we talked is what I am calling A Crowley Will Always Be a Crowley. I'm using the pattern Downton Farewell by Phil Lagerman. I have actually had this one in my queue for a while as well, so I figured, hey, why not? And it is such a cute pattern. I needed to get it started this week. I don't know what was up with me, but I wanted to cast on all the things. The yarn that I'm using is Hue Loco Glitz Sock in the Money Cake colorway. This, I believe, was a colorway I picked up. I don't have any idea. Anyway, I am using a size US 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter on 9-inch circulars for a majority of the sock. And then the heel, I'll probably put it on DPNs. This is actually being housed directly in my Stitching the High Notes holiday music tot that I have. Oh, super cute. I love the combo. Let's see. Oh yes, and the last thing that I have worked on since the last time we talked is what I called Ripples on the Water. This pattern was the Ripple Bralette by Jessie Made Designs. Ugh, I've again wanted to do this one for a while. I kind of made a lot of progress. As of last night, I have part of the left side of the front worked, and then the other side obviously is on hang holders until I am ready to get there. But I will not give away that pattern. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. X's and O's. Despite mostly working on the one thing mostly since the last time we talked, I did put a few stitches into my cross stitch project. The pattern is actually You Had Me at Aloha by Stitcherina. I will be including all of her Etsy shop information as well as a before and after photo of what I worked on since the last time we talked. Because I did get a fair amount of progress considering. Especially last night at about 3 o'clock in the morning, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next segment before I start rambling again. Radio GaGa. So yes, again, like last week, I have been listening to the 80s and 90s music channels on Xfinity/Comcast, mostly so I can get a lot of work done. I had lots of stuff going on here in the background, but you'll find that out relatively soon if you haven't already. Anyway, I have also been listening to the Wine and Crime, Martinis and Murder, My Favorite Murder, and the Murder Squad podcasts on Apple Podcasts as well. I have a knot in the thread that I'm working on, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next segment so I can fix that. Silver's book pile. I have managed to finish 4 books since the last time we talked. The first is The Road to Price by Justine Elvira, A Risk Worth Taking by Heather Hiddenbrand, Good Girl by Pepper Lawson, and also A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Hartness. In that vein, I also did start the second book in that series by Deborah Harkness called Shadow of Night. I have also been reading At Any Price by Brianna Aubrey. And then I'm also reading the New Moon book by Stephanie Meyer, and I'm reading this along with the Hot and Bothered podcast. And I'm also reading Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, also along with a podcast that you may know called Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast. Either way, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next segment. Silver and the Case of the Screen Time. This is actually where a lot of my time has been, it seems like, over the past week. I have been watching a lot of TV. I found a new show called Celebrity Show Off. No, I won't be watching that anymore. It does star a bunch of celebrities who try to go ahead and make up reality TV shows while in quarantine. The premise seemed like it was going to be fun. Watched the first episode and wasn't really that impressed, but that's just me. The other thing that I have been watching is a show called Celebrity Watch Party, which obviously I like a lot more because I've watched every episode. Then I watched Don't. There was a new docuseries that came out this week called I'll Be Gone in the Dark. It's basically the Michelle McNamara docuseries on HBO. Absolutely loved it. I cannot wait for next Sunday for a next episode. And then I've also been watching a fair bit of Stargate SG-1 to the point that I am almost done with season 6. So I have put a lot of my watch time in that this week. Just what my brain wanted. Anyway, in terms of podcasts, I have watched the Knit Girls, Geeky Girls Knit and Cross Stitch, and also Stitching the High Notes, her vlog. Let's see, I've also watched the Fiber Circus, Mad Fuzzy, Dramatic Knits, and lots of True Crime Daily, actually. Alright, before I go ahead and ramble about anything else, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next segment. The more you know. Let's talk the great podcaster craft together. Now, for a bit of details, this is an along that I am hosting in 2020. It did start on January 1st and actually will end December 31st, and maybe a little bit later, depending on how long it takes me to wake up the next morning. Y'all know how I am. If you are a podcaster and like to go ahead and host an FO thread on your Ravelry board as well as the one that I have created, go ahead. That is perfectly fine. So you know, chatter threads are even better. Now, giving prizes is really up to your personal preference. If you are officially participating in the along, please PM me directly on Ravelry. I will go ahead and add you to the list of podcasts participating. This gets you your podcast banner directly on that particular group title, and you will also be added to the list of moderators. It is entirely up to you if you want to do that. However, if you are not a podcaster, but you do listen to any podcast at all and would like to go ahead and join in, please go ahead and feel free to go in and spread the word. I just ask that you use the hashtag TGPAL2020 on Instagram and everywhere else. Pro tip, you can actually add it to your projects on Ravelry as well, and it will be added to a separate tab if you so choose. Now, for the main rules, you must be a member of the Knit Along Ravelry group. If you are not on Ravelry anymore due to issues with the platform, please go ahead and just use the hashtag on Instagram. I will make sure to grab all FO pictures from there and that feed throughout the year as well, especially whenever I create the particular quarter videos to celebrate everyone's accomplishments. That is something that's new for 2020. There is now not a minimum yardage goal, so have added, especially in the case of all the cross-stitch projects that, I know will be coming out pretty soon, right? I don't know. Basically, single socks do count, unless, of course, you go ahead and finish the pair. Just so you know, each pair of socks only counts once. Sorry, that's kind of how they go, right? Any project you finish in 2020 will count. Non-Ravelry projects will count as well. I just ask that you post before and after photos. Non-Ravelry crafts do include needlepoint, scrapbooking, cooking, latch hooking, etc. So many different things can fit in that category. I've seen people with page folding. That's actually a pretty cool non-Rav craft I would like to try. But anyway, I'm digressing hardcore. So poly dipping is allowed and even encouraged. If you wish to share other alongs that you enter, that would be awesome. This way we can actually participate in those alongs as well, depending on the rules of said alongs. Now, in the case of scrappy blankets, one stripe or one square count as an FO in this context, because quite frankly, who isn't working on some version of a scrappy blanket, or 2 or 3 in my case? Anyway, now, what you came by for, right? The prizes. I am still collecting prizes for the along. If you would like to go ahead and add something to the prize pool, please go ahead and PM me on Ravelry, or you can even DM me on Instagram. That might take me a little bit more time, or you can email me directly. Sorry, I did get a late start on prize collection this year, so that's why it's still open. I am giving away 12 $10 under patterns on Ravelry. And that's $10 US if you were wondering. Also, I am giving away 4 total copies of my Proud to Be Me, or you may now select my Wizarding World Tour pattern. That's 1 per quarter. I'm going to be giving away a free pattern from Java Pearl Designs every month, so a total of 12. Every 50 FOs, I will be highlighting designers from Ravelry and actually will be giving away one of their giftable patterns. If you do know any unknown or lesser known designers who deserve our love, quite frankly, please just let me know. I would love to add them to the list. Since the beginning of the year, we have had over 400 FOs in the thread so far. To this end, I will actually be selecting somebody to win a pattern from the following designers Ravelry store. You ready for this one? Boston Jen, you guys. She has some awesome patterns. She hosts the Downseller Studio podcast. Oof, I love her podcast. Anyway, oh, and also something relatively new. I have been crafting digital badges for every 100 FOs entered in the FO thread. These badges are basically for everyone. You can go ahead and download them and put them directly into your Ravelry profile or even them on your computer. It's up to you. It's fair use for you. So I've actually put them up in a separate thread here on the Great Podcaster Craft Together forum. I will make sure to link that in the show notes so that way you can click through on that one as well. Alrighty, let's move on to the physical prizes. From Desert Vista Dye Works, on her Rizo base, we have 2 skeins. One called Neon Cotton Candy. Love this colorway. And then also Somebody Needs Some Courage. You guys, I love these colorways. Oh, and on her Zien or Sparkle base, the colorway is the Mother of All Somebody Queens. It's an 8-striper. It's absolutely gorgeous, you guys. Oh, so, like I said, I am super jealous of anyone that wins these 3 skeins. Now, from Nice and Knit, we do have 2 colors on their fingering base. The first one is called Sand Dollar, and the second is called Times Square. Again, I love these 2 colorways. Let's see. Oh, we did have a donation from New England Yarn and Spindle LLC. They are my LYS here in the States. They donated a skein of Sweet Georgia yarns in the Rainbow Sparkle colorway. I absolutely love it. I'll make sure to put a link to their website directly in the show notes as well, so that way you can check out what they have in stock and classes that they have. And the last physical prize is from Knit Picks. We do have the Gold Needle Organizer. All right, who finished objects in June? Well, we have a congratulations to Detour 4, Elsa and M, I Now Our, Jodadiah, Chaos 127, Elle McCall, Meditative Crafter, Moe's Crochet, Nicole S, Original Sin, VT Kimmy Kim, and Walsh Central. So congratulations everyone for entering your FOs. There were a lot of FOs this past month, you guys. It's awesome. Completely awesome. Now, if you haven't noticed already, I have actually gone ahead and been hitting the love button on every project because I cannot get enough of the awesomeness that you've been working on / finishing this past month. That's honestly just who I am. I do like to share the love and celebrate everyone's accomplishments. If you agree with me and would like to start doing so, that would be completely awesome. I'd love to have you along. However, there will be an added twist for those that do. At the end of each month this year, I will be awarding the most lovers, as I put it, with a pattern of their choice on Ravelry. So please be sure to hit the love button on your favorite FOs from post number 373 through 440 before midnight on the 1st of August, as that is when I will be locking that particular thread and awarding all prizes. Make sure you leave a comment there in the thread there. I will link that as well to let me know that you voted. You'll actually will also be in the running for a prize this way as well. Okay, what y'all been waiting for, right? The prize winners. I'm actually currently working on making a bundle for all of the winners in this particular thread. It should hopefully be done by the end of Q3 and updated by then, but we'll see. A little background baseball, right? That's how the phrase goes. Background baseball? Yeah, okay. Anyway, the prizes. The winner of a $10 or under pattern is post number 145, who is Walsh Central. So congratulations. The winner of the Q2 winner of my pattern is post number 254, who is Meditative Crafter. Congratulations. And the winner of the Java Pearl Designs pattern for this month is post number 258, who is Original Sin. So all 3 of you, if you can go ahead and PM me directly at Silverluna 2112 on Ravelry with which pattern you would like, that would be completely awesome. In the case of mine, which one of mine you would like and which Java Pearl designs you would like. That would be great. All right, let's talk the most loved from May. These were posts number 312 to 372. There were 2 different people who had 7 votes apiece. The first one was post number 356, who is Nicole S., and post number 363, who is I Now Hour. So if you can go ahead and just PM me directly with which pattern you would like, I will send that over as soon as I possibly can. Now, in terms of the voters from May, there were 8 posts. They are in that thread from 2 to 9. The winner of this one was post number 6, who is Wall Central. So congratulations. Like I said, just PM me directly with which pattern you would like, and I will send that right over. And the winner of the pattern from Boston Jen's Ravelry shop is post number 150, who is Jodadiah. Congratulations, Jodadiah. If all of my prize winners would go ahead and PM me directly on Ravelry, again, I am Silverluna2112, I will go ahead and send you over the pattern of choice that you would like as soon as possible. Okay, I need to take a drink after that segment, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next segment. Let's move on to my favorite things. I know I haven't had this segment for a while. It's mostly just because I shouldn't be shopping for stuff, but I couldn't resist getting all the stuff I needed to make a couple of cross-stitch patterns. I did get a bunch of floss from the DMC company directly. I have, like I said, I have 3 different patterns that I have planned, so I wanted to make sure I had those in stock and ready to go. From that DMC company, I also have a coffee cup needle minder as well as some extra needles, because, you know, who doesn't need some extra needles, right? I'm currently using one needle in 3 different projects, so I need a little bit more. And also, what happened to be in that package was this DMC tin with a sampler page inside. I was pleasantly surprised at this cute little thing. It's kind of like what I called my TARDIS tin with all my like notions and stuff in it now. It's great. I love it. And also, what did come in the mail, since I needed 2 more canvases for the patterns that I have planned, I went ahead and ordered both of those in the sizes I needed. And also I have a set of plastic bobbins with metal rings to organize my projects. It's currently what I am working on as we speak. I am actually wrapping up all of the yarn around the plastic bobbins, the floss that I did get around the plastic bobbins, and I'm kitting them up and getting it ready for the project, which I probably won't start for a while, but it is keeping my hands busy instead of being concentrated on the patterns in my knitting project. So, you know, you get what you get, right? Let's see. Oh, in terms of other things or my favorite things, I'm going to talk a little bit about Animal Crossing, because that's kind of what's been taking a lot of my time this past week. Don't know why. Well, it is a new month in the town, so a lot of new bugs and a lot of new fish and things that spawn. That's fine. But really what I want to talk to you about is I found this cool website that actually will predict meteor storms in your town, especially since I always seem to miss mine. And I have been using this website, woofs.org, a lot. It was somebody that went and did a lot of data mining to figure out everyone's weather patterns in the town and how to predict when it's going to be clear enough to have a meteor shower / small or large shower. But yeah, to that end, I actually had a large meteor shower that came through on the 26th. I'm actually expecting another one on the 7th. We'll see how that one works. Basically, this means that on this 26th, I actually spent a lot of the night catching shooting stars, and I invited a lot of other people to come by and join in. It was so much fun. I do recommend using that little app to go ahead and figure out yours if you haven't done so already. And so, you know, you can go ahead and time travel back to like past storms as well if you're not playing the turnip market like MTI tends to. So I have to balance my want to time travel and his need for all, and I repeat, all of the damn turnips. like this week. We're expecting a small spike, I think. I'm looking at him and he's not paying attention. That's fine. That's our lot in life together. But anyway, anyway, basically with all that, I have gone ahead and been the geeky silver, and I have decided to go ahead and create a spreadsheet to list off all of the different storms and things. And like I mentioned, after that, and at that point, I went ahead and did a lot of time traveling. I did collect the Aries, Taurus, and Gemini stuff that I missed since we actually started the game. And I'm actually on the way to collecting all of the Cancer stuff as well. These are sun signs if you didn't figure that out. Yeah. And honestly, I just found the Cancer table. So, yay. I got that last night, I think, from Celeste. Anyway, the other thing that I do want to talk about in terms of other things that are my favorite things, we are having a family visit on Saturday. Obviously, it's the 4th of July here in the States, so we're going to get together at my sister's new place for the first time since quarantine began. She moved in, I would say, pretty early on into quarantine, and so I have not gotten a chance to go up there. Let's just put it this way, I have gotten the stones to finally leave the house, except for a couple times during quarantine. I have not left at all. So we shall see. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next segment. Okay, we have come to the end of the road. I am pretty social. You can find me on our Ravelry board, which is Silver's Dreamland podcast. I am Silverluna 2112 there. On Ravelry, I do have a Facebook group as well under the name of Silver's Dreamland. There you can get all the updates and when the episodes go live if you would like to. On Instagram, I am Silver's Treats. On Twitter, I am at Silver's Knitting. No, I do tend to read through all messages as soon as I possibly can. If you don't happen to hear from me on anything, please feel free to email me directly at silversdreamland@gmail.com as it feeds directly into my phone, which I sort of have with me all times. Anyway, as always, everything I do talk about can be found at the show notes at www.silverstreamlandpodcast.com. And if you haven't done so already, please feel free to subscribe and hit the bell down below. This way, others can find me in my little corner of YouTube. That, and you can also see when I post videos as well. Okay. I have rambled for long enough. I know your time is valuable, so please feel free to join in any discussion or start your own on the Silver's Dreamland Ravelry board. I don't bite, I promise. If you are feeling generous, please hit that like button below this video so, like I said, so others can find my show as well, because YouTube algorithms. Anyway, please subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned for episodes 93 next week. Oh yeah! Happy early Independence Day to those in the U.S. and happy belated Canada Day for those in Canada. I do hope your Independence Day is a good one. Please be safe and try not to drive the neighborhood pets crazy with the fireworks. Anyway, until next time, happy crafting. Because yeah, Mario is the one that I'm talking about with crazy pets during fireworks, in case y'all were wondering. Anyway, bye.